Okay, so we're looking at week 2 of an eccentric block. This is kind of a hybrid speed day. It's a little bit more about speed and then stability in the bottom position. So before this, I had started out, I had done some really nice like cleans and some light snatches, and I moved into what this is, just 100-pound front squats, around 60% of my front squat max, and we're just kind of working on speed in that transition from the eccentric to the concentric. So as you can see, I'm actually really struggling with it. I drop down pretty fast, and then I struggle about 3 inches out of the hole, which is kind of something I'm trying to address. But with the program, I'm really working the eccentric now, so we can see it's had like a really nice translation over. But now, when I move into that isometric and concentric phase, I'm probably really going to have to pay special attention to programming to address my slow speed out of the hole or reversing it. Anyways, if you'll notice, I have short bands attached to the chains that are on both sides. Each chain weighs about 20 pounds. And the reason why is because, as you see, like in the last rep, my elbows drop down. And that is a result of losing tightness in my upper back. So what I decided to do, instead of just attaching chains, is I attached the elastic band instead to hold the chain, because what it does is it really causes that chain weight to bounce up and down. So if I let my upper back get really loose, and I let my elbow drop down and my chest fall forward, what's going to happen is I'm really going to just eat it. So instead, I really have to now focus on keeping my back really, really tight. And then I really have to think about, as I drive out of that hole, so you see me drop in a second, saying to myself, hips, 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 because I'm struggling to get out of there quickly. All right, over here then, we have incline speed bench. Again, the same setup with the elastic band instead of the chain. And again, the idea here is sometimes with my upper back, I just don't stay tight enough. So I'm going to be doing that speed bench on the incline. So if you watch the first rep, that one got away from me, and the second one traveled back towards my head, and then the third one's really good. And what it is that elastic band, it really sets off your groove, so if you're not tight. So the first two, I kind of learned my lesson, and by the third one, I had corrected for it. It's also a new neural pattern because it's something you're just not used to. All right, I had done half of my sets super wide and then half of my sets super narrow, which is basically allowing me to get some tricep and a little bit more chest work. And then this was probably about the last set before I moved on. So kind of moving into the last week of my eccentric block, and that'll start next week.